Hey Libras, welcome to September 2019. I got a question for you guys. How much do you believe in signs? Okay, because I am going to apply a sign that I received while shuffling for you guys to your life. Okay, as I looked at the time and I was thinking to myself, time is running out. The Knight of Cups tried to pop out. Okay, so the Knight of Cups is a young water sign: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Time is running out when it comes to this young water sign, whether that is your relationship coming to an end, or even just the current relationship dynamic changing to something better. But time is running out. So do what you need to do to prepare, okay? Align yourself with positivity, align yourself with this young water sign so you can fully embrace the last little bit that you guys have together, okay? It doesn't feel doom, like a doom, like, oh my God, they're going to pass on. Nothing like that, but it could be the end of the relationship as you know it, which, my opinion, that's a great thing, right? Keep in mind that these water signs, they're constantly changing. Think about water, okay? Think about water in general. You will never, when you go into water, you will never be touched by the same drop more than once, right? Water just moves so swiftly and it never turns back around. Unless you're in like a whirlpool, but even still, that's being filtered out. Water, when you're with them, embrace every second because it is impossible to get back those small moments, okay? This person is a soulmate, and emotionally, you guys are feeling really great. Last month was an amazing month for you guys, okay? And when I say last month, I mean August. Last month was an amazing month for you guys. However, you are now considering taking a risk. This month, a risk will come up and it will require some confrontation. It'll require some conflict. So is everybody in your life for you? Because Libras are incredibly supportive. A lot of the times, they can't get that support back. They cannot get that support back. And they feel imbalanced, like they can't find that power. They can't find their footing. They feel good. They want to express their love and their gratitude for the people that they care about, and they want to support them in the best way that they know how. But when they come up and ask for that support back, where is it? And it ends up feeling a little bit of an imbalance in their lives. And they're like, well, I don't understand because I support them so much. Now I resent them because they're not supporting me in the way that I do on a day-to-day basis. And for the women, I'm talking support when it comes to doing your partner's laundry or dishes. That is support. It all starts with you, right? So those little things that we are not compensated for, we are not appreciated for, we're taken for granted, which are just natural levels of support, is now creating an imbalance in your life. And that imbalance is stemming from a young fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person is in your family and you just want to be happy with them. You just want to feel included when it comes to them. But what you haven't looked at, Libra, is that you're pouring yourself dry. What is that quote I just, you keep pouring yourself out of your cup and not allowing people to refill it. That's what's going on. We put up these blocks and we say, let me just support you. No, I'll do it. I'll pay. I'll do it. And then when they come to be like, well, let me repay you, you say, no, it's okay. No. And then in your head, you're being like, oh, I do really want that, but it'll be rude, right? It'd be rude for me to say yes. And they're like, oh, okay. And then you go, damn, I actually needed that energy exchange, right? It happens to me all the time. I'll go above and beyond for a client and they're like, here, let me do this. I'm like, pay it forward. It's like, why? Why can't I accept that back? It's a Libra thing. It's a total Libra thing. Okay. So let's see what's going on for Libras, September 2019. Something missing from the home and family. So we are patiently waiting instead of creating the conflict, instead of confronting it, instead of confronting the fire sign or confronting the soulmate, or just even confronting yourself in the mirror and saying, this is wrong and I'm going to say something. Feels good. You may get one look, but it feels really good. For instance, I was with my mother-in-law and my niece, and they're both Tauruses. And I was like, oh, to my niece, I'm like, oh, you look like that girl on the TV. My mother-in-law goes, but you're prettier, to my niece. And I just went, Jeanette, all women are beautiful. Like, why are you creating competition in this 5-year-old? All women are beautiful. Things like that. It was so awkward for me to say it. Palms sweaty, throat all closed up. Am I going to really speak my truth to my mother-in-law? Felt great afterwards. Felt great. Okay, Libra. After last month, we had a great month last month, right? New beginnings, positivity, all those aces, something new coming in. And we spoke about it, and we talked about it, and we tried to speak it into existence. And what that brought about was deception. That brought a lot of negativity, a lot of jealousy, because Libras have it all. You know what I mean? Like the Libra is the model of the zodiac. They're charming, they're beautiful, they're supportive, they're a lot of the times their beauty and their charm is enough for people in this world, in our society, to put them on a pedestal. They're polite, they're genuine, they get what they want because they're so kind. And people around them get jealous very easily, and they start to resent how easy it is for the Libra because we kill it with kindness, right? So they can't even faze us, and that just drives them even more mad. So what this month is about, Libra, is deception, okay? You're being deceived by somebody in your life, at least 2 people. They are taking behind your back, and it is affecting your ability to feel free and to make changes. So when I say feel free, there are opportunities in your life where you can do that free thing that makes you feel empowered, speaking up to your mother-in-law or saying, hey, that's wrong. That's freeing, that's liberating. But if you ever feel like you need to sacrifice your comfort in order for politeness, you know what I mean? Like saying, well, my mom, like somebody touching my crystals. And for me, I'm like, do not touch my crystals, but it's so rude that I just don't say anything. Fine, just touch them and I'll cleanse them. Even though it's annoying for me. That's a small example, right? So 2 people have been deceiving you, and it's you not speaking up and saying that makes me feel uncomfortable as a fear of being impolite or rude or not living up to that Libra aesthetic of charm and beauty and calm coolness and just being chill. That is creating a lot of the deception in your life right now. The obstacle and the aid is what you've been putting out there, what you've been talking about. If you've been bragging a little bit, if you've been talking about those new beginnings, feeling like these people should be happy for you, it makes me sad. Because there are people in everybody's lives where you can't share good news. You can't share that new beginning because they're always like, well, what about me? Well, now I feel bad because I'm not doing anything. And as a Libra, you don't want to make people feel bad. You want love and peace and harmony. So it's almost like you have to sacrifice your authenticity in order to make other people feel more comfortable. And it just ends up creating all this inner conflict and resentment. Subconsciously, you're like, maybe I should just hold on to it. Maybe I should just be hoarding it. You know what? I'm going to get all this power. I have all this new power. And since they're not even appreciating or supporting, or I can see it in their eyes that they're not actually happy for me, then guess what? They will never hear my good news ever again. I literally spoke those words to my husband because I got good news and I felt like I couldn't even tell him. Scorpio, they naturally rule envy. So I'm like, dude, this is our good news. But they just don't see it. If you have Scorpios around you, that young Knight of Cups, are they actually happy for you, or do they just kind of question how it affects their lives and what they're doing or not doing, right? So because of that, Libra, you're thinking some pretty negative thoughts. Some negative thoughts. The negative side of relationships. The dark side of Libra, which is Aries, right? I shouldn't say the dark side, but our shadow side. They're the opposite of us. So Aries is all about me, and Aries will go and have no qualms with being like, well, look what I did, look what I led. And people are like, good for you, Aries. But as soon as a Libra does it, they're like, wait, how does that affect me? Like, I don't know what it is, just the energy that we give off, right? They expect an Aries to be just starting something new and doing something exciting. And that's our shadow side, right? That's totally us. We want to do that, but we're constantly pulled back to, well, how is that going to affect my partner? How is that going to affect them, my mom, my dad, my kid? We never just do things that are just for us because we're constantly tethered to somebody else. And at the end of the day, our good news doesn't mean squat unless we can share it with the people that we love. Whereas an Aries, aka shadow, they're happy. They can have good news and they make sure that nobody is holding them back or asking for their payout or whatever. So Libra, we've been doing a lot of rest at home, a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation. We've been working very hard on improving ourselves. And that is where another level of deceit comes from. They just don't feel included. They just don't feel involved. They feel like you're going to leave them out. And it's creating a lot of chaos within them. They're scrambling because to lose, you're like an arm for some people. You're that third arm. You're constantly helping, constantly giving that support, that pat on the back, that love, and that tranquility and that calm coolness, that they're afraid they're going to lose that if you're going off and accomplishing things in an Aries way. You're going to feel that and they're going to fear it. So that's where the deception is coming from, especially when it comes to two people in particular. It's their fear that they're going to lose your support, that they feel like they can't support you. Libra, this is how people are viewing you. New frame of mind. The way you're speaking has been different. The way you've been talking about yourself has been different. You have a new sense of empowerment. And it's so terrifying because it's so powerful, right? It is so incredibly powerful. And it's just, you're just not talking the same way you used to. There's just been a huge shift in you with all of your alone time that you're just not talking the way that you used to. And that's where the fear is coming in. Because I don't know about you guys, but as Libra, I have dumbed myself down for pretty much my whole life. Dumbed it down. I'll know a big word. I want to use it. And I just won't because of the company that I'm in. I want to make sure that they're comfortable and I can communicate with them. This month is probably the first time when I started talking about spirituality with my family and openly saying it. And it shifted things. People are like, wait, what? And they're asking more questions. They want to get involved because they don't want to have to deceive you. They don't want to have to pull away from you. They're just fearful. It's for their own self-protection. Family and friends, they see how much you've been investing in yourself. They're proud of you. They feel left out. Hope and fear. 9 of Wands is your hope and fear. See, with this card, he's got so many options, but because he's holding on to the one out of a sense of loyalty, and he's working hard doing it, it's hurting him. He's got a bandage on his head. It's hurting him holding on. And like the staff that he's holding on to at the bottom, it's dark. He's cutting off circulation to it. There's no growth because he's holding on to it so tight. And look at the 8 staves, which are energy behind him that he's looking at. He realizes that if he were to just let go of this one energy source, he'd be so abundant with 8 other things pouring in. But because he's so tightly grasping onto this one, those 8 things will eventually, they'll fall down. There's nothing holding them up. It will eventually fall down. So you need to decide, Libra. Oh God. A Libra deciding, ooh, you got to choose. Do you want to hold on to the one thing that's been there for you this entire time, but you know that it's gotten pretty dark and heavy to carry it and maybe there's not as much growth? Do you want to keep holding on to that and kind of watering a dead plant? Or do you want to see what else you can achieve without that fear of deception or hurting somebody else or infringing on their sense of freedom? The outcome, Libra, for your September 29th, 2019 reading is unfortunately, we got to do the shadow work this month. We're going to the dark side. We're looking at all the negatives of our relationships, where they've pulled us back, where they've held us down, where they've not supported us, and where we've gone above and beyond to support them. And that includes this young earth sign, this Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy that needs power constantly. So we constantly give our power to this young earth sign because we know that they require it. And that's how we cut ourselves short. Okay. And that's another way that we're able to see the dark side of our relationships. But what this is all doing at the end of the day, Libra, is it's revealing a lot of truths. You're starting to see things for what they actually are. And that's invaluable, right? Like that's priceless to be able to be revealed honest spiritual truth, like universal divine truth that, hey, yeah, relationships have a dark side. They're not that easy. You can't always have conflict-free relationships. You have to have confrontation. You can't always sacrifice your goals and your individuality as a way to connect with other people who are anchors, right? Or who are envious, or who don't see that your good news is going to benefit them because they're so stuck on the fact that they don't have good news. And it all stems back from this lack of power with this young fire sign. So figure out who this young fire sign is. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, you grew up with them. You've grown with them. Music is a huge part of your relationship together. There will be certain songs that remind you of this person. If you find that you're crying at random songs, it absolutely stems back to this person. So research the lyrics and figure out what's going on there. This person has 3 obligations in their life that they're constantly talking about. And you just want to be that one of those obligations. You just want to be considered because you consider them so much. And they've had such a huge influence in your development. Okay. Love you, Libra, so much. As always, if you need a personalized reading, identify some of these people and go a little bit further, send me an email. My details are below. I use astrology and numerology for all my readings. And please comment, like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do. Love you guys so much. And I will see you next month. Bye, Libras.